to some niggas that'll put your life in danger. Wouldn't never give you coats, but be quick to give you bangers. Then to send you on the mission they won't do cause it's too dangerous. Do that seem right? They'll dim your light if it seem bright. I done seen niggas 40 still living the team.
Today's conversation, I think I sent it to most of you guys, or I probably spoke to you guys about the conversation at hand. So I'll give you guys a little background to this conversation that we're gonna have. All right. So first off, I do want to say this because it's just recorded. I do want to say thank you to all the Black directors and all the Black movies that have been put out, because they are taking over like the landscape of movies. Everything that we watch right now is heavily influenced about Black people, made around Black people, and it is super dope to see that. I don't know if everybody's seen the movie Judas and the Black Messiah. If you saw it, raise your hand. Okay, cool. What about American Skin? Okay, cool. All right, no worries at all. Boom. So my question for you guys is this: are we as Black people and people of color taking in too much trauma from the movies that are out about us? Like I spoke to Sheldon before, we spoke briefly. A lot of the movies that are showcased right now, even though they are, they are beautiful movies, they are made by Black folks in the image of Black folks, they are very traumatizing. They are very taxing to the mind and like the emotional well-being of oneself. Depending on who you are, it could be super high on the trauma level, or it could be, I'm cool. It got me a little bit, but it's super traumatic. So my question is, are we taking in too much of that stuff, like over and over again? We watch a ton of slave movies over. We watch a ton of like the civil rights movies over and over again, and we sit there. And I know I don't even gotta be in your house, but I know everybody's blood pressure go up a couple notches. I know it does. Your hands get sweaty and you piss the fuck off, to be quite frank. So I'm gonna give it to nigga. You buzzing like this. No, I'm gonna give it to Carisha first. Pleasure for having you on. Are we taking in too much of that?
Definitely, I think so. And I say that because like certain movies I don't even watch because I know the type of reaction that it's gonna be. Like slave movies, I kind of stay away from that because I don't want to feel away. Now I don't want to run up to the grocery store and then a non-Black say something slick. You know what I'm saying? And that's the mind frame I'm in. So some movies I just pretty much stay away. And I think especially now with all the injustice going on, the whole just being COVID-19, everybody, they mind might not be like it would be if it wasn't going on. So I pretty much say it's very traumatic when you live in this because it's reality. Even the movies, like it's reality. So that's why I think we definitely taking in a lot by watching it. It may put us in a different mind frame. And that's why I try to stay away from it. But I mean, it's good to, look at it because it is the reality. It's the truth. This is what happened. But I definitely think watching that can kind of mess you up, especially depending on what mindset you in at the time when you watch it. So I definitely think it's traumatic for a lot of different people.
Sheldon, my brother from the West Coast.
Yeah, I definitely think that like with the slave movies, I'm like her. I don't want to watch them either because I'll turn into Malcolm X in a heartbeat. But like me personally, I like the creativity that's going on. You got to remember postpartum stress syndrome is in our blood. Like it's, we got to remember we come from slavery. So we come from beatings and, and constantly being stepped on. So, we even the food we eat, look how we get cows and animals that's like stressed out. So we're constantly having stress issues. So, I mean, I think as long as we take that mind frame and put it into something else, like it's a lot of other ways to show Black power besides us getting whipped and beat. Because it's a lot of Black inventors that I don't even know about. Like my son came up the other day with like 10 inventors. Was like, do you know who these people are? I'm like, man, I don't know not one of them. So I think we need to just start focusing on more of that than the slavery. I mean, because everybody's been through slavery. We just was the last ones who went through it and the worst ones who went through it.
Langston, what's up?
Man, it's a lot, man. It's a lot. Trying to put this all into words, to be honest, in the best words. I could talk for myself. I could talk for my opinion. Man, the stuff that we watch in our movies, the stuff that we go through is real life. We, a lot of us, not us in general, but our families, our heritage went through it. We read about it. We see it. It hurts. It hurts bad. Watching these movies does raise my blood pressure. It does piss me the fuck off, and I like it. I want to be pissed the fuck off. Like I want to feel that because it happened to us, and we gotta feel that. But at the same point, I want to see more movies based on the good that our culture has gone through. I want to watch some movies where, and actually my dad put me onto a movie. I haven't watched it yet. So I don't know if you guys have watched it already. It's called Soul on a Disney channel or Disney Plus or something. So I want to watch that. He says it's a good movie.
Yeah.
So I haven't yet, and I want to watch. But we need more movies like that. I haven't watched it yet, so I don't know what it's about. But we need movies that we can watch with our families, with our kids, instead of, for instance, the movie like the Judas and the Black Messiah, which I will show my kids, but I need to wait for appropriate time to show them. So yes, I do feel like the traumatizing of us in these movies is too much, but sometimes we need to be pissed off to make a change.
Hey, Tanika, you over there. Hey, I love this lady. She over there rocking like she in church, like she like, I'm like, okay, she gonna jump. How do you feel about these?
Every time I feel it, but that's my age showing. I get to rock it because I'm really feeling it. I just want to start off with this. When I was in school, I learned this term, which I was not familiar with, called environmental stressors. And I just was like, what is that? So I did my research, and never once did it dawn on me the stresses that are brought upon us just based off our environment. For one, I don't have a problem watching a slave movie because I'm like Langston. I want to be mad. I want to show up the next day at school and look at the white teacher like, yeah, I didn't forget. I want to show up like that. Yeah, you think you better than me. Oh, but guess what, sweetheart? You not. I do. I like that fact that after I watch it, yeah, I carry that with me for like 2 weeks. I do. But is it okay? Is it out? It's drawn out now. I'm like the rest of the panel. Like we've done more than been slaves. We've been more than abused. What happened in Judas and the Black Messiah? Yes, it was horrible. But we have other accolades that we want to see celebrated on film and in books. Why do our stuff always have to be so traumatic? Where are our love stories at? Why do we have to have a love story? But first, in the beginning of the book and the movie, he treated the young lady so wrong. Then after the fact, he comes around. Like, no, let our stuff start off beautiful, let it end beautiful, because it's some beautifulness going on in our culture. I want to see that celebrated in Black and film. Why do we always have to be so traumatized so they could just be like, I almost feel like, what? I'm going to throw them a bone. So let me make a movie about, slavery. Every 5 years, that's what y'all give us. Like, this the best you could come up with, like, is to give us a slave movie. You know what I'm saying? Or that where they done shot Ricky, and our Black guys are, holding up liquor stores and all of that. Like, we are a well-rounded race. Present that. I know it's easier said than done, but that's the type of stuff I want to see on film and in books. I don't always want to see us stressed out, and all out of sorts. Enough is enough.
Mm-hmm.
Enough is enough.
Hey, so me and Jaida and Jody, before we did this, we talked about a couple movies and things like that. But Jaida was awesome to like dive away from the slavery aspect, and she went into like she watched the movie Malcolm and Maria and things like that. She was ready to go. Hey, Tanika, she almost had like, yo, I felt like she was you for a second. She embodied you at that moment. She was like, what about the Black love story that is not portrayed the right way in movies?
It is heartbroken. Like, you know what? And let me just say this, okay? I'm optimistic that, you know, one day my Prince Charming gonna come and we gonna ride off into the sunset. Everybody keep y'all fingers crossed. Let's touch a degree on that. You know, but just like Love Jones, everybody want to say like, oh, that was an amazing love story. But she had to lose him before she gained him. Like, why do all our stories have to be that way? I want our stories to start off beautiful. He met her. They in grammar school. They went off. Just like in Love and Basketball. She had to lose him. You understand what I'm saying? In order to obtain him. Why do we have to keep losing?
Can I say on that? Sometimes
Go ahead, Sheldon.
Because I'm 46, you know what I'm saying? Well, about to be 46. And what I've went through is it seems like love has to be tested. It's not about really, it's about that loyalty when a hurdle comes up, and both sides have to be tested. It can't just be lovey-dovey, lovey-dovey, lovey-dovey. You know what I'm saying? Because my parents met, that was a love story too. But it wasn't no good love story. It went through some hurdles too, you know what I'm saying? But love come through with tests, because it's like with religion. If we all was rich and then had everything, where would we go?
Hey, Sheldon, not to cut you off, but why they can't be tested together? Why they both?
Well, that is a test together. It's a test of your loyalty of each other.
But I mean, they stay together and go through the test together, and they face obstacle outside of their household. You know why? You know, and that's not stressful. You know why they can't go through love and go through what do you call it, when they grow together, and they don't always have to be tested against each other, have to split up, have to route.
Well, you gotta remember, we're all individuals first. Even with a couple, you could be your Prince Charming or your princess or whatever. Everybody at one point in your life, like there's one point in my life, I didn't want to be around my girl. Like, look, I got to do it myself right now. Because when you become a couple, sometimes you lose yourself. So that's what I mean by that. Sometimes you have to go off on your own and find yourself sometimes, and then come back to your couple and see, okay, that person was loyal or waiting or on my side or on my team. You know what I'm saying?
You're on mute.
I see it. I'm a little retarded.
Oh wait, but I want to say something. And so, but it's also like the way they portray it in movies, like Black people, well, Black love go through the bad, like the worst of the tests. Like most of the time in white love movies is, you know, okay, infidelity, yeah, in Black movies too. But like what comes with that infidelity is abuse mainly in Black movies, and then the worst of abuse, like they gotta beat the girl till they almost kill her and stuff like that. So I understand like go through tests, but it's like the way they portray it in Black movies is like we go through the worst of the test rather than, you know, other colored people. Well,
of course they can't make us look good, you know that. I mean, we always got to be the one dying in the movie or something, right? You got to remember, the producers are the ones who have the final call. You know, they'll say, hey, this script is good up until this part. We want to change this, or you ain't getting no money. And what you gonna do?
And that's the problem, though. You know what I'm saying? We always got to be dealt a bad hand, even in a fictitious movie. We still got to be dealt a bad hand. That's crazy, though.
Well, you got to remember, in history, they have to, you know, it's called programming. They program us to be losers. That's what they want us to be. They forget that we were the ones who controlled and ran everything with the brain, not with the brawn.
Yeah, it's just crazy. Like even commercials now.
Yeah,
like they never depict the Black family together or something. Even commercials is always going to be the white man with the Black woman, or the Black woman. I mean, you know what I'm saying, with the Black man with the
interracial thing,
biracial thing. Like we only have great things if we with the opposite race. It's just crazy how they like put us against each other.
Can I ask a question?
It's just crazy.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so I have to play devil's advocate. I have to. I wouldn't be who I am if I don't play devil's advocate. But aren't some of those things? Let's take Baby Boy for example. The whole story of Baby Boy, and I love that movie to the heart. It's like one of my favorite movies. That movie, we all appreciate that movie, right?
Okay.
We all appreciate that story. We all appreciate calling a grown man a baby boy. We all appreciate him calling his home a crib. We all appreciate him having, I want to say appreciate, but we all accept the fact that he had multiple baby mothers in our culture. So at some point, we can't be mad when that's on the big screen because that is what we live.
And see, in my defense, Baby
I got
Boy
one, but let me stop.
Go ahead, Carisha.
I feel like Baby Boy was a good movie because in reality, it's pretty much accurate. The accuracy is like dead on. But in all honesty, I couldn't stand Jody and Baby Boy. So I still don't understand why they always depict us like that. All guys ain't like that. All black guys ain't got multiple baby mothers. All black guys don't still mess with this woman over here, this woman over there. It's still some good guys, you know what I'm saying? Why don't they ever depict that in the movies or the commercials or the books or the music? I know we ain't talking about music, but even in the music, like, why can't we ever show ourselves and portray ourselves in a positive way? They won't never do the white person like that ever.
Well, y'all don't see the times have changed. Remember when we had Bill Cosby and you know,
exactly, and Family Matters, and the
Bill
stuff
Cosby.
like that. Now it's like but it's like that in reality. The hood dude get more respect than the college graduate.
That's
The
true.
college graduate is a sucker, and the dude who went to prison who kills and rape other men is
have a big old party for them when they come home. So he's going off
Hey,
the college to the party.
I like that, but we can't use Bill Cosby. We can't use Bill Cosby.
Well, no, I think they set Bill up, man. Bill had money. You know how they do the black, once again, how they do the black man. He tried to make a power move. They say, nah, we keeping you right over here in this little cage over here.
Okay, so let's turn. So as far as the black trauma and the movies that we're watching, are we watching that with our kids? Or you're like, so like when they see us, that movie was one of the most traumatic movies I've seen in the last. That's probably the most traumatic movie I've ever seen in my life. But that and Roots. That and Roots.
Which one are you talking about?
When They See Us.
The Central Park 5.
Are we watching these things?
Oh, I've seen that.
I know.
My kids don't like to watch it. I have kids that's 17, 22, and 26. They like that. I ain't watching this. And they just walk out.
Hey, hold that, because I got a response to that. Tanika, go ahead.
1 second. I was enjoying a strawberry fruit roll up. You know what? Part of me feel like he needs to know. My son is 15. And I remember when the Central Park 5 came out, I didn't want to watch it because you know what? Things, and I don't know who's all on the panel religious, but I take my religion very serious. Things get into my spirit. So a lot of things I do not engage in because I don't want it in my spirit. And when I say in my spirit, I harp on it. I obsessively think about it. I feel it like it happened to me per se. So I didn't want to watch it, but my son watched it. And I had to allow him to watch it because I want him to know, like, you are being targeted because of this color of your skin. I could tell my son, you know what, go to school, get the best education, and you're going to be smooth sailing, when that's not the truth. Mm-hmm. So I wanted him to see what happened to those other students. Those children. My son came to me. He was adamant, Mom, please watch Judas and the Black Messiah. I'm like, I'm going to watch it. I want to watch the photograph first. Finally, I watched it. I believe it sparked something in him in a way that he saw that it was based in Chicago. I think it made him somewhat feel proud about his city. You know, that people in his city was about something good. But he also saw the flip side of how somebody could infiltrate you. They could portray to be, you know, someone that they're not, act like they all good with you and then, you know, betray you. So he wanted to talk about it so much. So I think it's important that we watch those movies with our children. But while we watching it, we need to be explaining to them why this took place, why this is why I tell you what I tell you, this is why I share with you the way I share with you, you know, so we could kind of prevent it from being repeated. That's how I feel about it. So that's why I don't shy away from letting my son watch those type of movies.
Hey, Jaida, are you jumping at these movies when they come out, or are you from the mindset of like, oh man, that shit ain't got to do with me?
I wouldn't say jumping at them, only because I'm not really like a movie person. Like I don't like really watch movies. But when they see us came out, like everybody was talking about it, and like just talking about same thing with Messiah. Was not Messiah. Malcolm and Marie.
Oh, Malcolm and Marie. Okay.
Yeah, same thing with that. Like just how on social media it affected like so many people. So with that, it's like, okay, let me watch it and see like my perspective on it. And that's when I watch when they see us. Like same thing. My mom didn't want to watch it at all, just because she was like, no, like she couldn't imagine like if that happened to one of her kids, kind of thing. So I watched it and I was like, I didn't see it from a mother point of view, obviously, because I'm not a mother, but it was just still like shocking to me at the same time. And I don't have kids, so.
Hey, because I hear people say they will elect not to watch it. Is it fair to say whoever elects not to watch it is doing also a disservice? Because that knowledge or that awareness could be passed down to someone else, or like how I feel like everybody's parents gave them the roots. Like that was like.
It's a disservice, though.
What'd you say, Carisha?
I don't think it's a disservice if you don't watch it. I mean, people don't watch it probably for their own reasons. Like it could trigger some things. So like, and then I don't feel like it's a disservice because you still can explain some things. You don't got to see the movie. We live it every day regardless. And we've probably seen movies before that. So we don't have to watch that particular movie to still be able to explain to the next person or our kids or nieces and nephews of how they do us. So I don't think it's a disservice if you don't watch it. I mean, it just depends on what type of person you're. And I'm not a big movie person either. I don't watch TV that much either. But I don't need to see like those movies to be able to explain what's going on in everyday life anyway. So.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Cause like my kids didn't seen us get jacked and police pull us over for no reason and talk to me crazy and all that. So I don't need a movie to explain it. Trust me, I just teach them how to ice skate away from it. Yes, sir. No, sir. Like they have a gun, they can get rid of you and get a vacation. So just be as nice and calm as possible. So like I said, we don't watch the movies because we just get fired up for nothing. But I lace them on a daily basis of things, what to do and what not to do in life, though, as a black man or a black woman, because I have a daughter also.
Go ahead, Langston.
My kids is young, so we haven't experienced that yet, but I have a thought process in my head of how we're going to do things, and I'm going to watch the movie with them. I'm going to watch all these movies with them, because it's different when you can tell somebody something and when you can show them something. And although my kids have seen me get pulled over by the police and they see how the police act a certain way because I'm big, black, and intimidating in their eyes, when they got the gun and they got all the gang behind them, but the police ain't never whooped me in front of my kids. Police ain't never took me to jail and held me there for 10, 20 years and my kids seen it. And in these movies, my kids, they'll be 15 or around there when they get to see these movies, but these movies are horrific. And I want my kids to see just how far some other motherfuckers can take them without them doing anything wrong. And and like Darae, you're bringing up these topics as, is this stress too much? But we go through it, or our families have been through it, or we know people that have been through it, or history, just the stuff that people have gone through. And I would hate for it to repeat itself because my family or the people I hang around is unprepared, or they're not listening to me because I'm dad and dad think he know it all. You could see somebody else's failures and learn just as good.
Okay. So you was over there pondering hard. You was over there. You looked here. You looked there. You had something.
Who, me?
Yeah, you was pondering.
Yeah, I'm just like I said. I'm more like I say. I'm like the ladies, I don't watch that much TV unless I'm bored or I'm stuck at home. You know what I'm saying? That's why I don't really trip off of movies. Like I said, my dad been around. He just recently passed last year, and that was, you know, he used to lace us on everything that he done damn near seen from slavery till now. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, with the movie thing, it's cool because it does show a little bit of something that you can, you know, visualize and see. But like I said, I just feel like, you know, you lace your kids every day. Every day your kids should learn something from you. If you don't teach your kids something every day, then I feel you failed as a parent.
Man, I appreciate all of this, bro, because like I said, for me personally, I take all these movies in. Jaida and Joey, they be like, man, you think you Malcolm X or somebody, bro? I take it all in, and for me, I think it's traumatic. Don't get me wrong, but I think it's also the baggage I need to carry. I need to carry those bags because somebody was really carrying those bags physically. I should, you know, humble myself when I'm thinking like, oh man, you know, we all good. Nah, bro. Like we still got 3 miles and of trek we gotta go. So it's not that. So I carry those bags because it's important that I always. And I was on the last episode too, a couple episodes ago, and people was like, man, you can't put that on kids over and over again. That they, you know, they gotta fight this much harder. They gotta beat this much better than the next person. But that's the reality. So these movies are, go ahead.
You know what, like Langston was saying, you know, and y'all said, other ladies said, y'all want to be fired up. Don't you think that's a program? They want us to be angry. Like, I don't, you know, when they come at you sideways, you know, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. If you angry all the time, you're going to be, you know, I used to be an angry person, I ain't going to lie, you know, and it got me in a lot of situations. And now that I handle things in a calmer, like I'll give them a smile, knowing I want to slap the shit out of them, but I'm going to give them a smile anyway, because if I slap them, all I'm going to do, ain't no more detention or suspension, I'm going to jail. And I don't even want to go to 30 days, let alone 5 days, too. I want to go there one day. You know what I'm saying? Jail ain't for me. When they go co-ed, I'll start doing crime.
No, I don't. For me, I think the opposite. I think the person they want us to be is really quiet and really docile. They don't want the person who's,
but you don't have to be,
who's activated.
But you're angry. But
let's take the angry out. Let's take the angry word out, because we use that on women. We use that on Black women a lot. They use that, and that's the trump card for her. Once she get a lip, oh no, this bitch angry.
No.
Get rid of her.
The angry ones, bro. Hold on, let's get on that one real quick. The Black women are angry, man. I just be saying hello. Hey, man, how you doing? I ain't say I want to holler. I'm just saying, you know, hello. Like when I see a brother, what's up, my brother? What's happening?
Sheldon, don't go there. Don't go there, Sheldon. Don't do that.
Man, I'm trying to be. I'm not trying to turn my black as my wife. You know, my kid's mother is a Black woman. You know what I'm saying? But I'm like, man, I be trying to speak. Hello, how you doing? I don't know.
But hey, but listen.
How you doing, mama? What's happening?
Hey, but I think the words we've been programmed to use versus one another is what they want us to continue to be doing. So I don't think it's being angry. I think it's us being activated and being, you know, motivated to, you know, to get our next generation into a better step than we're at. Because right now we good, we solid, but can we be better? I don't think
we're solid at all, man.
No, I'm saying, are you solid? Are you solid versus the Black man 60 years ago? You are.
I almost feel like we're pretty much in the same boat. I'm gonna keep it real.
Same boat, different time.
Can you go in on that? Can you go in on that?
You want me to expound on that? Okay, fine. Yeah.
Fine.
I was. You know what? Let me just say this. You know what I shared with my son the other day? It could have been my son or my sister, because she and I talk a lot. Like we get deep sometimes. I noticed the deep comes right before the frustration. But I was just saying, like, anytime that we get a Black leader that stands up for the Black race and go hard for the Black race, the government somehow get rid of that individual. So now a lot of people are afraid to stand up. Like they doing the same thing they was doing during the Jim Crow era. When those people were protesting for Black Lives Matter, they were being attacked, they were being beaten, all that, spat at, all that. The same thing that was happening when our grandparents and great grandparents were going to sit at those counters in those diners trying to eat. That was the very same thing that was happening then is happening now. They may dress it a little different because they let people get a little money. So you kind of blind to the fact that it's still going on. Trust and believe it's still going on. Like I told Matthew, yeah, we live in Chicago. You may not experience racism the way some other states experience it. Like you got children your age probably have really experienced racism. You haven't came nowhere near it. You understand what I'm saying? So I feel like we're still in the same boat where they let you have a little bit, but then they take it back, or they keep reminding you that if you don't act right, you won't have it for long. We still in the same boat.
Yeah,
that's
a valid point. Yeah.
Hey, hey, I feel you with the us in the same point. But I do think there have been advancements for us.
Okay, yeah, I give you that. You got to go deep now. You cutting up tonight.
No,
just
no,
like
I think
anything, Joe. Our schools are not funded equally. Our health care is not equal. Our housing situation is not equal. It's still the same way it was 50, 60, 70 years ago. Like we're still going through it. You still got schools in the South that are segregated. It's 2021 and it's still schools that are segregated. You understand what I'm saying? Like what's really going on? Like I said, they let you get a little bit. Like they're, oh yeah, we'll get a city of Chicago a black male, but don't get it twisted, Chicagoans. You understand what I'm saying? Oh, we'll let him get up in there. Oh, but don't get it twisted. That's how it is. The same thing is still going on. And you know it is. No matter how we try to dress it up, you close your eyes and think back. This is the story is a repeat. This is a repeat of what happened. It's all the same. It's just it has a different name on it. That's it.
Go ahead, Jody.
Okay, so I got a question. So you say, we still in the same boat, this and that. But then earlier you were saying like you want to see in books and films that, focus on the improvements, the advancements. And then, but you still have the mindset that we're in the same boat. So what's the difference between you saying like, oh, you want to see the improvements, but you're saying that how it was 60, 50 years ago is the same?
Yeah.
How would that look? Like, how would that look in a movie for you?
How would it look in a movie that we still experiencing the same type of racism that we were experiencing then?
The changes you would like to see. How would that look in a movie?
I would love to see African Americans predicted the same way that you do the others. I want a fair shot. I want a beautiful love story. I want a story about if you're gonna make a movie about a single mom and she's winning, why do she have to be abused in the very beginning? You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. Like, why do everything gets repeated? Like, okay, yes, that happened, but let's move past that. Like I say, the racism is still the same. You gonna try to tell me that Jim Crow is not an exact replica of what's been going on? You gonna tell me what happened to George Floyd they wasn't doing in Jim Crow era? Come on now, that's the same flavor. Do I want it to look different? Yes. Am I a realist? Yes, I am. Do I think it's gonna change tomorrow? Honestly, I don't. Do I think it's gonna change 10 years from now? Honestly, I don't. Do I want it to? Yes, I would love to see it, but it's a lab and it's real, and I don't think it's going anywhere anytime soon. Same thing now. You got half the prison population are men who look like you guys, and they get free labor from them. You understand what I'm saying? This is modern day slavery. This is the same thing they were doing then. When them men shackled up, why you shackled up on a visit? What he gonna do behind this big glass? But yet he's still shackled. You understand what I'm saying? It's the same thing. They just dressed it different. They want you to think at it and look at it different. Like, oh, we're going to throw them a bomb. We're going to let it, we're going to let a couple of Viola Davises on film. We're going to let our Denzel Washingtons on film. We got this team got a whole bunch of black players. We got a lot of black players going on right now. We got a lot of black activists, but don't get it twisted.
Hey, Lance, I got a question for you and Carisha, right? So we talked about movies, and we talked about the trauma, and we talked about being displayed in a negative way and not a positive light. Why did we champion Tyler Perry then?
What do you mean exactly? For what?
Because Tyler Perry, I was a big fan of Tyler Perry. I still am. But we championed his storytelling.
Honestly, I like Tyler Perry. Don't get me wrong. I like a lot of his movies, but on the other side of that, I don't necessarily agree how he play us either. Like, he's a black writer, and I know he write his own films. I don't like all the time how he make us look on film. Like, case in point, like Diary of a Black Woman.
Yeah.
That movie.
Diary of a mad black woman.
Mad black woman, exactly. A mad black woman. So how he did in that film, like in the beginning, how, you know, the man drug her up out the house like she was a dog or something. And then he paired, you know, then he left her and went with the non-black woman. And the, you know how he doing just a lot of his films. I just don't agree with how he make us look. I do like him as a director, don't get me wrong. But again, I can't necessarily say I agree with how he depict us on film. I don't like it.
But
and
when you
want more from a person of the same color as you, put us in a more positive light.
But were you thinking that though when you first watched the movie, or were you just saying, "Oh, this is a good movie"? Because usually people watch movies and say, "Okay, this is a movie, like good movie, so and so." But then, like now with all this stuff going on, people, I guess you could say, are more woke. And then looking back on these things, they're like, "Oh my gosh, this is so wrong." But then when they first saw it, they didn't think of it like that.
I can tell you exactly what I said when I seen the movie, because I'm always big on the whole racial thing, even colorism. When I seen the movie, I was like, "That's crazy as hell that he got this man doing her like this." But then and this may be off into another subject, but whatever, it could be for another time. But that whole colorism come in. You had a dark-skinned man treat her like a dog, and then Shamar Moore come with his fair color skin that's more acceptable, less threatening as a black man, and he come say today. I said that's exactly what I said. Like, why would he have this black woman on here getting drugged up out this house? Like, every man ain't like that. Come on. If you want to lead a woman, just leave. You had to drag out the house. That was putting too much on it. That's exactly.
I feel like from that movie, it was more of like showing how vulnerable she was for a man that she loved. Because in the movie, she was saying how she had to put her mom in a nursing home because he said so. And she did it. She was vulnerable because of how much money he had. It was like something she wasn't used to. So I feel like he was trying to portray reality. Like, if that was anybody, say a girl out of the hood, like growing up in a house that ain't really big enough, and she meet a man that's making bank, got a bin, anything, she gon' be submissive in a way to him in order to get what she want in life, because she didn't work. She got everything handed to her. He worked. So it was like, yeah, okay, I'm gonna be vulnerable. If my mom gotta go in a nursing home for me to get this, oh, well, she gotta go in a nursing home because he paying for the bill anyway. And I think that was more of his way of portraying, like, some black women are not weak-minded, but vulnerable in vulnerable states when it comes to situations like that. And it took for her to lose that to realize, like, oh, I'm my own woman. I could do stuff on my own.
I'm my own mad black woman. Hey, Langston, go ahead.
Man, it's too much to even talk about. I done lost my train of thought like twice by now. But the sad part is a lot of that stuff that we watch, like Tyler Perry, is true. That's the saddest part. And why we can relate to it. That's why we watch it. That's why it sells. It's because it's just true. It's this fucking country. We can't expect this country to be different, because that's what it started with, and it'll always be that way. Like Tanika was saying, they'll give us a little bit. They'll give us a black president. They'll give us some actors. They'll give us a football team, and so on and so forth. But the country we live in will never be equal. It's capitalism. They will make it off the backs of others. I mean, that's it. It's plain as day is what we live in. It's something that they want us to digest. It's something that we pay to watch because we know it's true. It's fucked up. And that's why I watch that shit, because I like to feel like this sometimes. Just to know. Now, I don't show, now like what Sheldon was saying, I don't show everybody my emotions. I think I'm different than most. I don't, when I'm angry, you don't see it, I smile. Because I know I'm angry, but everybody gonna know I'm angry. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot.
Hey, no, hey, go ahead, Tanika.
I want to say this. Jody made an excellent point about when the movie first came out, how everyone was so receptive to it. Then once you learn more, you grow more, then you watch it again, you be like, yeah, that's pretty messed up. At first I thought, oh my God, Tyler Perry is the champ, you know, but then when you really think, when you sit and think, this is a modern day minstrel show that this man be putting on. It's just depicted by Black Americans. Normally it was by white folks in blackface. Now it's just Black folks, because all Black people do not act the way Tyler Perry depicts them in films. Yeah, you think it's funny, but come on, Tyler, you took it a little too far with that. Even with his scripted series, you taking it a little too far. Like, we don't do that. I know I don't do that. I know the women and the men I know don't carry on that way. So, but then again, you know, he gonna do what they want him to do. They can act like he ain't being mastered by them. He is. So we quit acting like, because it's Tyler Perry Studios and he do all the writing. They got their hand in the pot too. Trust and believe that. So he gonna get on what they want at the end of the day. But yeah, that's how I feel about it.
Guys, I love everybody's perspective. I truly appreciate it. Like I said, I was at work asking everybody that I could see that who may have like an idea of like what this means to people of color like this. Because right now, every movie that's been put out about Black people has been traumatic. Get Out, Us, Malcolm and Marie, Judas and the Black Messiah. I mean, there's a small amount of movies that have portrayed us in a good light, but also in those movies that show us in a good light, there is some trauma laced in there. So like Pursuit of Happiness was like a great movie, but the road travel was just like, oh my God, can somebody give him a break? Like, you know what I mean, on his wit. Shell, you had your hand up for a second.
Yeah, maybe it's me, because I know my life been pretty exciting. Y'all have boring lives when nothing don't happen? Because all the drama they put in movies, I didn't see like right here, right there, right here. Like, all it is people like, you know, it's like rap music. You put what's in your environment out there. Like even with Tyler Perry, you know, I applaud the dude. You know, I'm not into my dad didn't teach me to be too much into all the extras with because you know, I'm gonna keep it 1,000, which I could love my brother. My brother be the first one to put me down. My brother be the first one to put a bullet in my head. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no white boy ever got at me like that. Ain't no Mexican dude ever got at me like that. My brother, if I give him the look like, bro, don't mess with me, leave me and my folks alone, he want to come in and go across the line to where I might have to take his life or he got to take my life. So I think it's just a hustle. Me personally, us as Black folks, we got to do what we got to do to get where we got to be. You know what I'm saying? I don't hate on nobody's music, nobody's talent, nobody's skills. You put out with your mind. We all have different minds. Everybody's putting out what they go through, what they seen, what their mind thought is. Their mind thought might not be like yours. Their mind thought might be even, you know, a lot of people with creativity don't even know how to talk to people. You'll see them in person, they don't even know how to say hello. They don't know how to react to people. But yeah, me, I can sit and chop game with you all day long, but I can't write a script. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, I ain't hating on the dude. I ain't hating on Tyler Perry. I ain't hating on the cats that got to wear the dress to get on there. Shit, give me a couple of million. I put a dress on, nigga. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'll be Shanae's sister. You understand me? Give me all that money. It's a hustle, man. Long as they ain't got me in the movie bent over with nothing up my butt, I'm good. You know what I'm saying?
Real talk.
That's what they want to do, though, Sheldon. They want to
They ain't gonna do that though, because
they want to strip that from you. That's what they want to do to our men. They want to emasculate you. They want to imprison you.
You know, you
That's
gotta
what
remember.
they want to do. They want you to say that. They want you to say that you're in the film, put on the titties like Shanae and but that's what they want you to think. They want you to think that that's all good.
But the world is based on conquering everything. You know, the white man conquered everybody. He didn't just conquer us. He conquered everybody. So all this, what we doing is just bringing up, like me, it's like old wounds. We keep stabbing at old wounds. Let's move on.
That's the basis of the discussion. Are there traumas in books and film? And yes, there are.
Shit, our lives are traumatized. Our whole life, come on, man, our lives from kids.
But you know what?
Women
don't come to a point. You know what? We be like, you know what? let's change the narrative.
Let's just stop judging each other so much. That's our problems.
Yeah, if it was a fifth, we all be drunk. Come on now, you know that's not gonna happen. Let's work on changing the narrative. Okay, like I say, if I'm a Black actor and I have this platform to write, I mean, if I'm a Black producer or whatever, and I have a platform to profile my people or shine a light on my people in the brightest of the light, that's exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna demean my people no more than they done already been demeaned. Okay.
Hold on 1 second. So with that, you said change the narrative as far as those things.
But we're the narrative,
I like,
right?
Which I like. I appreciate that concept. But the stories that I've been told to us, she drinking wine. Damn, I missed out. Girl, fight us up for the wine. Hey, her room is sharp. Look at it.
She got the sexy glass with the, you know what I'm saying?
Stop. Hey, bring me some wine, Langston. Drop me some wine over the house.
Y'all silly.
So with the narrative changing, I don't think the narrative can change so much in our movies. With that being, I'm gonna tell you why. Because most of those movies that I'm taking in are timepieces. We gotta have those things in, because here's my point. I taught your son. I was in school with them. They didn't teach your son about Fred Hampton. They didn't do that. They didn't teach the story of Nelson Mandela. They didn't do those things. They didn't show roots. They didn't show these things because in history class, they glossed over African American history as if
they still do.
They still do, as if it's not how America got here. Like, you got here off our backs. So I don't think the change in the narrative could be like, as far as like the timepieces. It would be good to to get some different views on those relationship stands and things like that. Those rough things and that goes in our community. But that's good, man. That's going to be. But you can't change it, because that's the director telling the story as it is. Like, I can only tell you what I've seen in my life. If I only seen Sheldon, pull up in his red car, when I put a movie in the car, I'm putting a red car in there. That's all I can give you. I can't give you anything that I can't touch. Like, Matthew may make a movie one day about a single mother. That's what he knows. That's dear to him. He can't tell you nothing else. So
exactly.
He got to give you those. He got to give you those stories, because it's so important to him as an author, as a writer, and things like that. I can't deviate from the thing that's been given to me.
But as a writer or director, it's your duty to embellish a little. You can embellish. That's your platform. You could make it however you want to make it. Why not make it?
Not necessarily. They're always going to tell you what you can and you can't do.
That's true. That's what I'm saying.
There is no real free platform out there.
I already know they're not giving them free range. They're gonna keep they foot on the neck, because this how they want us and everybody else to look at us.
But you know what? If there is a free platform that we could do, are we gonna support each other? How many times a black man came out with something? I hear everybody talk about, I ain't buying Master P food. I buy all that shit if I see it. I ain't buying Fruity Pebbles no more. I'm buying Master P.O.'s.
Some people may not, and that's the sad reality of it too. We always do dismiss our own kind.
But see, that's what I'm saying. We'll get their movies, talk about you not doing this, you not doing that. But when we got a black person doing something, we don't even go support them. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I said about always being judgmental. Let's stop being judgmental and just support each other. Like, my boy showed me this 45 thing. I subscribed it and liked it, all of them. You know what I'm saying? That's support. Anybody else got one, let me know. I'm subscribing and supporting. You understand me?